So in our last video, we talked about why we should review the word this generation. You can check the previous video to get full details on that. Now let's go over to the next topic. The common phrase you always hear people say, mind your own business. Mind your own business. Often at times I ask myself, if everybody should mind his own business, would there be any law? Is there any need for a law in a society? I don't think so. If everybody should mind their own business, is there any need for a standard in any society? I don't really think so. So when you hear people saying, mind your own business, what do you mean mind your own business? If fire is upon your roof, and I'm telling you, you need to get cold water, you need to take off that fire. Now you're telling me to mind my own business. When, if I keep silent, within time, that fire is going to move over to my own roof and consume my building. So when you often hear people saying, mind your own business, I do not believe in that narrative. And often at times, when you really try to investigate that, you tend to understand they are not trying to be accountable. They just want silence. And this silence is a big issue within our society, especially African society. We've been taught to be silent. We've been taught to be silent. We only speak up when that issue is getting close to affect our own self or our close loved ones. But when the issue is not really affecting you, maybe it's affecting a distant cousin, a far distant friend, you will be silent. And we take it as a norm. It's none of my business. Okay, let's give an example. There is a trend going on now in some, I always like to talk about my own people. I always like to talk about my own issue, and some people take it up against me like I'm trying to be biased. Okay, let me ask you a question. If you have a son that is 10 years old, and I have a son, or I have a son that is also 10 years old, your son is sick with fever, and my own son is sick with fever. Who do you, who should you feel concerned to first, or who do you feel responsible to first? You should feel full responsibility for your own kids. When you're done trying to restore your kids to health, then you can start talking about my own kid. So I don't see anything wrong in that. So over to when we say mind your own business. If I see your own kid going around people that we're going to influence in a wrong way, maybe going around people that are not properly brought up, people that are not that don't take things serious. It is my obligation to call your kids, call your child or your son, come here. Your father is my friend, or I know you, I know your father. I want you to stay out from these boys. But if you say I should mind my business, I will keep quiet, walk off, and in times, bad company corrupt good manners, your son will be influenced. And remember, even though you are not my friend, if I refuse to try to guide that boy, on a later date, someday that boy might break my door, take off my valuable goods, and even shoot me if I try to resist. So when you say mind your own business, we are all going to pay for it, especially if you are saying that because you don't want to be accountable. We are all going to pay for it. You can be silent. It can be far away from you. It can be your distance cousin. It can be in another region. If you keep silent little by little, that fire is going to get close to you and it's going to consume you. So it's better to knock off this narrative and do not be intimidated when someone tells you, mind your own business. Why should I mind my own business when you're trying to destabilize my society, the society or the community I live in? Why should I mind my own business when I know in the next 10, 20 years, this action you are taking is going to affect me or my kids directly? Why should I mind my own business? I think we should try to review this thought and kick off that silence behavior often at times we have when the issue is not very close to us.